West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, 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 the West Coast.
It is time. Playoff basketball is here. Stanley Cup playoffs are here. And man, it's a great time to be a sports fan. This is the West Coast Mindset, episode 23. And I have a lot to break down, a lot of great game ones in the NBA playoffs. And I'll break them all down. And remember, guys, to subscribe, rate, and review. And why don't we keep talking, man? Let's get to it right now. Beginning with the game one of the Raptors and the Cavaliers. The Cavaliers won this one 126-113. And the Cavs lead 1-0 in the series. Donovan Mitchell took over and did his thing. James Harden was very, very good. And overall, just a great performance by the Cavaliers. And yeah, good game, man. I watched this game. And I really was impressed by the backcourt of the Cavaliers. And the Cavaliers have a lot of expectations because they traded away Darius Garland at the trade deadline to get James Harden. And I questioned the move a little bit at first, but I understand because Darius Garland was not healthy. And it was time for the small backcourt of Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland to come to an end. Somebody had to leave that nucleus that they had, where they were a good regular season team, but when it came to the playoffs, they just didn't deliver, and they had to make that move. And so far, I know it's only the first game, but the Harden Mitchell backcourt was very, very good. Donovan Mitchell had 32 points, was 4 of 7 from 3, 4 assists and 3 rebounds, and he was the difference maker the entire game. He took over, and it was just a great performance by him. James Harden was very good, very efficient, 22 points, also 4-7 from 3, 10 assists and 2 rebounds, and he played very well. And yeah, that backcourt is going to be scary. And I get it, there's the playoff history of James Harden where he disappears, but if he can continue to get the ball down to Mitchell and he just doesn't disappear and it's not a complete afterthought in the big game, then the Cavaliers might be building something pretty special, and they have a good chance to do something in these playoffs. But the X factor was Max Strus with 24 points off the bench, 4 of 6 from 3, and he was just an energizer bunny when he came into the game, and he made a big impact when he was able to get in the game off his minutes off the bench, and overall just provided great scoring from the Cavaliers team. And I love the way that they played. And the Raptors, man, they were in it for most of the game. They were able to keep it close at halftime, but once that third quarter started getting going, and the Cavs started hitting shots, it was pretty much game over. And yeah, it was an earthquake by the Cavaliers after that. And I initially picked the Cavaliers in 5 in the series. And so far, it's looking like that may be the case. We'll see if the Raptors have a chance to win a game. But, yeah, overall, great performance by the Cavs. And, yeah, this backcourt is going to be something special. And another thing is that Evan Mobley really didn't get going. And Jarrett Allen got out to a hot start, but then kind of disappeared in the second half. But that was more because the backcourt was able to take over, and they were taking more shots. But overall, a great performance. And if you're a Cavs fan, you got to feel pretty good after this win, and you have a good shot to win the series. And after seeing the performance from this game, if they can continue to play that way, then yeah, the Cavs can really do something in the Eastern Conference, and they can really be a contender to possibly get to the conference finals and come out the East. So we'll see. I'm still a little questioning it myself, but great start for them. And yeah, I got the Cavs in 5, and they're up 1-0 in the series against the Raptors. Moving on, we got the Timberwolves and the Nuggets. This is a great series right here. The Nuggets pulled it out 116-105, and the Nuggets have a 1-0 lead in the series. Nikola Jokic was an absolute monster, as he usually is, and Jamal Murray was able to be his sidekick and do his thing, let the team in scoring, and was the overall leading scorer for the game. Anthony Edwards played very well. He tried his best, but you can see that he injured his leg, and he was favoring his leg all game. And he was still able to put up pretty good numbers, but overall his impact was not felt enough on the team. And the Wolves got the loss. And yeah, man, this is gonna be a good series. I initially picked the Nuggets in 6 in this series, but after seeing the way Anthony Edwards came up with that injury, as I said, we'll see if he can tough it out and he can keep doing his thing. But yeah, he was still able to put up pretty good numbers, as I said. He was able to put up 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. But if he's not right, and it gets worse through the rest of the series, this series could be over pretty soon. But if he's on the floor and if he's on the floor and he's able to do his thing, then yeah, I think it'll be the Nuggets in 6. But overall, great performance by the Nuggets, man. Nikola Jokic, 25 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, another triple-double. The guy just dominated the game. And, man, the Nuggets are looking really, really scary. And if they're hitting shots and they're healthy and they're confident, they're going to be a tough match for possibly the Spurs or the Thunder as the top 2 teams in the West. And maybe the Nuggets can become a real contender, and they can have a chance to come out the West and get to the finals. And Jamal Murray was very good as well, 30 points. Wasn't really good in terms of the field goal attempts, 7 field goal makes, 7 for 22 on field goals. So he was kind of off. The jump shot was a little off. He was 0 for 8 from 3, but he was still getting to the line, and he was still being aggressive, and he was still able to get his 30 points, and he was still able to leave an impact on the game. Maybe he obviously has to be a little more disciplined, and he has to be better with the shot selection and have a better field goal percentage. But overall, he played well and didn't give up, and he didn't give up on himself. He still kept putting up shots. And you know what they say, man, shooters shoot. And he was shooting, and he kept doing his thing, and it was good for the Nuggets. Aaron Gordon was that Swiss Army knife at power forward, 17 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and he was very impactful on the defensive end as well. And he's a big X factor for this team, and he was able to do his thing. And yeah, the Nuggets look very good, man. And I'm not giving up on the Timberwolves. I still think the Wolves are a good team. And people forget that the Timberwolves got to the conference finals the past 2 years, and they play a playoff style kind of a game. They play physical. They defend. They're a long team. They're tough. And Anthony Edwards picks it up another level when it's around this time of the year. But with his injury, as I said, man, it's going to be tough to see if he can still be impactful and lead the Wolves to victories, enough victories in the series, and come out of this round. I don't think he'll get it done. I think the Nuggets will win in 6, but we'll see. Ant is a different guy. He is a dog, and if there's one person I want to bet against when it comes to playing through an injury and leading his team to the promised land on his back, it's him. But it's a really big uphill climb, so we'll see. But overall, great performance by the Nuggets, and they lead 1-0 in this series. Moving on, we got the Hawks and the Knicks, and the Knicks were able to pull it out 113-102, and the Knicks lead the series 1-0. Great performance by the dynamic duo of Jaylen Brown and Karl Anthony Towns. They were able to do their thing and take over this game and keep the Hawks at bay. The Hawks were expected to be one of the dark horses to come out of the Eastern Conference and possibly compete and maybe get an upset in the first round. But the Knicks were able to do their thing, and they showed up and they were not nervous. Jalen Brunson, as I said, played very well. 28 points, 3 for 4 from 3, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. And he took over from the start, whether it was Dyson Daniels, whether it was Nikhil Alexander-Walker guarding him. It didn't matter who it was. Those tough defenders in Atlanta still were not able to stop him. And Jalen Brunson would look very confident. He took over from the start, and he was very, very good. And the key for them is Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns showed up, 25 points, 3 for 4 from 3, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he was impactful on the glass, even on defense too. He has his issues defensively, but he was able to be physical and play well on both sides of the ball. And that's what the Knicks need. The Knicks need that toughness, and they need his motor to be up. And it was up for this game. And he played very, very well. And OG Anunoby was very, very good too. 18 points, 2 for 3 from 3-point range, 8 rebounds, and he was playing very well defensively as well. And he was all over the guards of Atlanta. Although CJ McCollum played very well, but still he was able to do enough and keep their offense at bay. And overall, the Knicks offense was very, very good. Bench played well, and yeah, I was expecting that the Hawks would be a very gritty defensive team, and it would be tough for the Knicks to score boatload of points in this series. But after this game, that might have changed. And yeah, the Knicks played very, very well. Jalen Johnson played very well for the Hawks. He had 22 points. CJ McCollum had 26 points. Onyeka Okongwu, the center, had 19 points himself, but it just wasn't enough. And the Hawks couldn't get stops. And yeah, they're a young team, and I think they will compete, and they'll make this a series. I got the Knicks in 6 in this series, but yeah, I just think their inexperience is gonna catch up to them, and I think they'll make it tough. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna win the series. It'll be a good series. I think that they will bounce back in Atlanta, and they will be able to play better in front of their home crowd. But with them having to open up on the road in New York, it's very, very tough. And you know that when the Garden is rocking in playoff time, it's a very tough place to play. And it looked like it might have been a little too much for them in this game. We'll see if they'll bounce back. You never know. But a great first game for the Knicks, and we'll see if they can go on to win this series. All right, moving on to a shocker, and this was the shocker of the weekend. Some breaking news right before the game: Kevin Durant was scratched for the Rockets because he had a knee contusion, and his impact was clearly lost in this game. As the Rockets lost on the road against the short-handed Lakers, 107-98, and the Lakers lead 1-0 in this series. And an unsuspecting person was the hero, Luke Kennard. He was by far the best player in this game, and he was shooting it like crazy. LeBron James was his typical self, filling up the stat sheet, all over the stat sheet with 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists. A great game from DeAndre Ayton. And yeah, the Rockets offense just couldn't get it going, and they just were not able to hang in there against the Lakers. And yeah, man, Luke Kennard, man, 27 points, 5 for 5 from 3, and he's confident. And being a Laker fan, of course, I've been watching for a couple of weeks with Austin Reeves and without Luka. And Luke Kennard has really stepped up, and he's really played well since being in the starting lineup. I know it's still a tall hill to climb for the Lakers. I'm not saying they're going to win the series. I got the Rockets winning the series in 5 games. But, hey, the reason why I did that was because I just don't know about Luka's health. And maybe with the Lakers having a 1-0 lead and possibly going back to Houston either up 2-0 or 1-1, and Luka comes back for Game 3, then that might change the series. But as I said, I don't know the outcome of what's going to happen with that. And I don't know if Luka would be able to come back. There is a new report that he possibly will come back in the middle of the series. I don't know if it's Game 3 or Game 4 or Game 5. It's not really specified, but we'll see. But anyway, in his place, yeah, Luke Kennard was very, very good. And he took over the game. He was playing with so much confidence, a bunch of step-back threes. He was getting to the rim. And yeah, the Rockets could not handle him. And he was by far the best player. And it was a huge performance by him and by far the best game in his career. And yeah, it was just fun to watch. And being a Lakers fan, it was, we were definitely enjoying ourselves Saturday night. And LeBron, 19 points, 8 rebounds, 13 assists. He was still playing that Swiss Army knife kind of role, which is surprising because we thought that LeBron was going to have to take over and be Miami LeBron, be Cleveland LeBron for a game or two until possibly Luka came back. But he was still playing that secondary role and let Luke Kennard be the guy. And he was able to play defense as well and be a very good all-around player. And it really helped the Lakers out. So I love the way that LeBron played. DeAndre Ayton, he was engaged from the start. 19 points, 11 rebounds. And that's the thing we've been asking about DeAndre Ayton. Is he going to be that guy? Is he going to come to play every single night? and give the effort. And in this game, he gave the effort. He outplayed El Prince Şengün, and yeah, I love what I saw from him. And yeah, Laker fans have hope. I have some hope. There's a better chance that the Lakers actually could make this a series, but we'll see. It's all on the injury gods, and it's all on those stem cells that Luka got in Spain. Maybe they work, maybe not. We never know. But Kevin Durant should be able to come back for game 2, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, the Lakers are up 1-0, and we'll see if there's a chance that the Lakers could make this a series. And as we know now, the Lakers are up 1-0, and yeah, I'll stay hesitant on making a major switch off in my pick because of the uncertainty. But yeah, good start for the Lakers. All right, so let's move on to 76ers Celtics, and this was a no contest from the start. Celtics blew the 76ers out 123-91, and they're up 1-0 in this series. And not a whole lot to talk about. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum were very good as a tandem, like they usually are. Jaylen Brown had 26 points, 2 for 2 from 3, and he was that good two-way player and played very well. Jason Tatum is starting to get better and better the more he plays. He played well himself, 25 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists. And yeah, overall, just the Celtics are just too much for the short-handed 76ers. As I said in my episode last week, Joel Embiid is not going to play, and he possibly will not come back at all in these playoffs. And not a whole lot to break down. Just the Celtics are just a way better team. And the 76ers, Tyrese Maxey tried his best, 21 points, but it's just way too much for him. Paul George was solid, but yeah, they're just outmatched. I have the Celtics in 4. This is my sweep. I think they're gonna sweep them. And yeah, I feel bad for the 76ers fans, as I said in the last episode last week. And I just don't think they have a chance in this series. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's a better series overall just to watch. But I gave up watching this literally after the middle of the second quarter. It was a wipeout from the start. And yeah, I just don't see it being any better. So I'm not really going to break it down as much. I got the Celtics getting the sweep in this series, and they're up 1-0 in the series. Now let's move on to another series that I think will end pretty fast as well. The Thunder and the Suns, and the Thunder showed their championship moxie, destroying the Suns 119-84, and this game was over from the start. And SGA did his usual thing, and Jalen Williams looks the healthiest he's ever been, and he was very effective. And just overall, yeah, the Thunder just dominated, and this game was over from the start. And yeah, SGA was his typical self, 25 points. Jalen Williams, 22 points. Chet Holmgren was very good. And just overall, it was just that defense of the Thunder that's just so elite and separates them from everybody else. When they're playing defense like that, they just are unbeatable, and they have so much depth. And yeah, they just look like they're going to be a juggernaut. And they're for sure the team to beat. And they're the favorite to come out of the West. So we'll see if somebody can dethrone them. But after this game, they showed that that's going to be really tough to do. And the Suns, congrats to them, man. Like, especially after that disastrous season they had last year, the fact that they were able to even make the playoffs this year is an accomplishment for them. And we'll see if they can build on that and build for the future. But yeah, not a whole lot to talk about this game. This game was over as well. And just, yeah, great effort for the Suns. They were just outmatched. And the Thunder are going to be a tough out, and we'll see if somebody can beat them. And yeah, this is another series that I think will be a sweep. All right, so let's go to another shocker that I literally just watched and started recording right after I watched it because I couldn't believe it. I still can't believe it. The Magic went on the road in Detroit, and they got the win 112-101, and they're up 1-0 in the series. And it's crazy, man. After losing a game on the road in the play-in, and then winning another game against the Hornets with their playoff lives on the brink, and they were able to come through and beat the Hornets. And being a major underdog in this series, they go into Detroit, Game 1, the Rockets home crowd, and the Pistons are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they weren't phased at all, man. Credit to Jamal Mosley, credit to all the players on the Magic, and they came in and they were not scared at all. Paulo Banchero was very, very good. 23 points, 2 for 4 from 3, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Franz Wagner, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. And overall, just everybody showed up and everybody did their job. Desmond Bane and Wendell Carter Jr. had 17 points each, and they were playing tough physical defense. They were getting all up in the Pistons, and that's the thing with the Pistons. And a lot of people were starting to question because they don't really shoot the ball well from 3. And do they have another guy other than Cade Cunningham to be a scorer and take over on offense? And we saw possibly the scary thing about that in this game for the Pistons. They were not shooting the ball well, and Cade Cunningham played well on the stat sheet, 39 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and he played very well in the second half, and he was trying his best to lead them back in this game. They made a couple of runs, but whenever the Pistons were right there, the Magic just pushed them back and just kept pushing them back, and they kept extending the lead and never let the Pistons get back really in the game. And yeah, this is a shocking one. Cade Cunningham looks good. You got to feel good about that. But the shooting is an issue, and it's a scary one. I still think that the Pistons will win in 5 games. I picked the Pistons in 5 before the series started. But yeah, this is a scary one, and I hope that Jimmy Bickerstaff and the team they get to practice and they figure out that, hey man, that throw this in the way. It was a bad night, and the Magic are a legit team, and they got to come to play the next game, because if they go down 0-2 at home as the number 1 seed, that's a scary one, man. Like I picked the Celtics to come out of the East, of course, but I thought Detroit had a real chance, because with Cade Cunningham coming back in the final couple of games in the regular season, I thought he looked good. He was going to ramp up, and the team was going to rally around him and play well and become that number 1 seed in the first game of the playoffs. But yeah, they just didn't show up, and it's a scary thing. So Pistons fans, have hope. You have a shot to bounce back. It's only 1 game, so we'll see what happens. But overall, not a good sign if you're a Pistons fan. And that's all the games that I'll break down today. I know there's the Spurs and the Blazers, but that game is currently going on as I speak. So I'll break down that game on next episode, and the series on next episode as well. But overall, just great stuff, guys. What a fun weekend of basketball. And it's going to be a fun month of basketball. And I love the first round of the NBA playoffs. It's a lot of fun. And I'll start talking some hockey, too. I know the Stanley Cup playoffs are going on as well. And overall, just a great month of sports. And I'm glad that I was able to break down every single game. And I'm glad that I was able to watch most games this weekend. And overall, just it's going to be a fun month of basketball. So with that, guys, I'm going to say please subscribe, like, review. And with that, this was the West Coast Mindset Sports Podcast, episode 23. And I'll see you guys next week.
This the West, 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 West. This the West, 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 the West Coast. This the West, 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 the West, West. This the West, West.